Hello everyone. We're gonna have 3 piles. Pile 1 is gonna be these chimes. Okay, and then pile 2 is gonna be this painting. Trying to make it shine a little. And then pile 3, these glasses. They are blue light glasses. So pick your pile and we're gonna find out what transformation you're going through or what we need to know about it. So for pile 1, we'll pick the chimes. Let's see. So Ace of Wands in reverse, 7 of Cups in reverse. So pile 1, you are a pile who you've always had a lot of great ideas. So this is, if you resonate with this, I had to change the angle to plug my phone in. So anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about this pile first so you know that you picked the right one. So if this is your pile, you'll resonate because you are someone who's always had a lot of good ideas. That's never been your struggle, coming up with good ideas, but following through with them was more of the struggle. And it wasn't that you weren't willing to do the work. It's more so you just didn't know where to start or where to begin or what the work was that you needed to do. And so that's what kind of blocked you, is like that overwhelming mental block of like, how do I even go about it? So, but that didn't stop you from continuing to come up with ideas. But I feel like that always kind of bothered you because you felt like you had all this potential and you knew what you were capable of, but maybe people didn't take you seriously, or people were like, yeah, like they just thought you were someone who always talked and never, actually put any action behind your words. But you knew that you could, and you knew you didn't need to prove it to yourself because you already knew it, but you felt like you wanted to show the world and show everyone who misunderstood you that you could do these things, and they weren't just ideas and you weren't just talking about them for fun. Like you did actually want to make them happen and did see a future in that area. If that resonates with you, this is definitely your pile, because I feel like recently you've really been taking action to actually do something about these ideas. And even though you didn't really know where to start, you just that's what called you to tap into your intuition or tap into a connection with something or someone higher than you, or someone who has more abilities or powers or more perspective than you. Tapping into some type of source like that and getting guidance. So like your intuition, basically tapping into your intuition. And maybe one reason for all of this is because this was always meant to lead you to tapping into your intuition, because you were always meant to have this struggle and then meant to want to do something about it and then finally do something. And I feel like that's what the transformation is that you're going through. So it was, you initiated this, you kind of said like, I don't need to know every single step. I don't need to know all the instructions. I don't even need to know anything about how it's going to happen. I just, knowing that it's going to happen and that I believe in myself and that I know I can get there, that's what I need. Like, you realize you already had what you needed to start. And even people who have a plan, it's not gonna go exactly as they plan. So there's always gonna be unknowns, no matter how prepared you are or unprepared. So being able to handle unknowns is arguably more efficient than coming up with a plan. you know? Or, I mean, both are good, but it's also really important to be able to be like, okay, that didn't work, or that's not going to work. What can we do right now? And like think quickly, and like, and that's what you're really good at. Like how I said before, with just coming up with really creative ideas. You could have like Mercury ruled, or a lot of Mercury in your chart. This feels like a lot of Gemini type energy. Just like the really creative, like always just bouncing ideas off of your own mind. And it's also going to help you put more use to that skill, like in a really constructive way. And I feel like you know this is happening, like you can feel it. You know you're headed in the right direction because you let go of the needing to know the details, and you just chose to have faith and trusted in your intuition and in yourself and what you've always known to be true. And I feel like you're making your younger self proud as well, because your younger self, of course, believed in you and had all these dreams and ideas, and really hopes that as you grew up, you wouldn't lose that sense of like, I can do it. Like they hoped you would never turn into a grown-up, meaning like they wanted to grow up, but they didn't want you to make that switch from like a kid who believes in anything and who, you know, they're not thinking about a job or a career or money. They're just thinking about, what do I enjoy? What's fun? What do I like? Like they never wanted you to lose that and switch to the important things that are not actually important, basically, but that society tells you you need to focus on. And I feel like you didn't switch, and your younger self is really proud of you, because it's like, I knew we could do it. And so it's also guiding you right now, giving you hints. Let's see what else. King of Cups in reverse. You could have water in your chart. Cancer, I'm feeling energy specifically. This just feels like you kept telling yourself, like, I need to wait. I need to wait for this or this or this or whatever it was. Like, I need to wait until something happens and then I'll know that I can go. Like, you were always waiting for the light to turn green. You didn't know the light was broken and you're just gonna have to eventually just go, you know? But now you've done that. But it's like you stopped waiting for validation. You stopped waiting for someone to believe in you. You stopped waiting for someone to understand you or to be like, yes, like, I know you can do that. Like, you became that for yourself. And you knew that in time other people would see it, but that they had to see it first. Like, these people couldn't believe in you before they saw your vision actually happen, because they can't see your vision like you can. And even if you tried to explain it, they wouldn't be able to actually experience it like you're experiencing it, because your words alone couldn't, no words could describe it. It's like when someone just gets this song and they just compose a whole song because they just channel, and like it becomes a famous, a legendary song in history or something like that. It's like tapping into this place that you can't buy it. It's not for sale. There's no, it's like wisdom. You can't buy it. You can't pay for it. You can only get there by experience, by time. So I feel like you stopped waiting for someone to be, like, you stopped waiting for everything to be perfect. Like, even when I was starting this reading, I was like not happy with the angle, because I have like a weird bendy, it's like a cheap $5 tripod, and it doesn't do what I wanted to do. And I was like trying to get the perfect angle and trying to make all, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just like, it literally doesn't matter at all. It's not going to affect the reading. It's not going to really affect the video. Just let it go. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I used that excuse a lot before I started putting readings out, like making videos or even posting on Instagram or TikTok. I had to, in my mind, I feel like it had to be perfect, and I had to be perfect and I had so much doubt, and I was like, I have to have all the right equipment, the right lighting, the right all of this, but it's like that doesn't matter, and that comes in time. Like most people don't just start out like that. That's like you learn that over time. You learn what works and what doesn't, what is more your style or whatever. So the point is, sometimes you just have to go for it without things being perfect. Like sometimes it's never going to be the perfect time. Like people can really put their life on hold because they're waiting for like that perfect person or that perfect time or that perfect clear signal. And I'm not at all suggesting that anyone settle or be like, well, this is good enough, it doesn't have to be perfect. No, like you should feel fulfilled. But what I'm saying is sometimes there's not going to be a clear answer, or if there is, you're not able to tap into it. Just like how sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes you just can't see the sun from where you are, from under the clouds. You can't see it. You know it's there, but you can't see it, and there's nothing you could do. I mean, I guess unless you were able to channel your mental powers to move the clouds, but you know, most people probably couldn't do anything about it. So, or in that moment at least, sometimes you just have to just use or let what you know be enough and not wait till you have like a for sure, because that's like taking a leap of faith. You know, you're not gonna, there's still a part of you that is unsure, uncertain, but it's about not letting that part be so big that it holds you back. And that's what you've done. Or I mean, that's you didn't let it hold you back. You decided to just go for it. And when you didn't have all the pieces, but you knew you had it, you had what you needed. You had the essentials. And that was going to be enough. So, because you realize like you weren't, because there are some times that you know you are guided to wait, but when you've just been waiting forever for something, like time has gone by and it doesn't feel like there's any progress and you don't feel any more peaceful about it, then there's something you need to change. You know, you have to just kind of make a decision. If you can't commit to the decision, commit to yourself and commit to trusting yourself, and like whatever I choose, I'm gonna go with it. Almost like having like a partner or a best friend, like, or a husband or wife, and it's like you choose to trust them. So sometimes you may be like, I don't know, but you're like, you know what, I've chosen to trust them. I've committed to this, I've committed to them, so I'm with them 100%. Even if there's some uncertainty, you choose to commit. And I feel like that's what the transformation that you started, that's what it's all about. And then the tower in reverse, I feel like you were in a tower, like a long, slow tower that was slowly crumbling, but you didn't even realize it until you got yourself out of it. And you're like, whoa. Because like it's like it was falling apart slowly, so that's why you didn't realize it, because it wasn't all coming down at once. But once you got out, you could actually see how it was like completely leaning sideways and it was literally about to crumble. So you moved yourself forward and got yourself out. So this transformation is really like self-led, self-imposed. I don't actually know what that means. That's just what I heard, self-imposed. Like it's all, like it's not something that just came out of nowhere and started happening to you. Like you instigated it, you started it, you made this happen once you decided to make a move. And I feel like you're gonna notice if you haven't already, then you're gonna notice everything just feels like it's working better or like flowing better. Or maybe your luck feels better, or just something like that. Like things just feel right, or more right than they used to feel. And I feel like the future, like they're not wanting to talk about the future a lot because Spirit just wants you to really be in the moment right now, like you already are, and not be like, okay, what's next? Not that you are, but like that's why I'm not being guided to like try and tap into the future any more than that. It's just gonna keep getting more, feel more just in flow, in tune. It's like something that you didn't even know was off until it gets fixed, and then you're like, oh, that's so much better. Or like maybe going to a chiropractor and you didn't even realize how like out of alignment your spine was, and then after you get it done, it's like you're an inch taller and your circulation's back, and like you didn't even realize how off it was. So that's really all that I'm getting for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you next time. Okay, those who picked pile 2, I'm gonna do some chimes, even though that's not your pile, not the chimes. Okay. And so here's your pile, the painting. Let's see what transformation you've been going through. And first I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm getting for the pile, so you know if you picked the right pile, what I'm getting for the person. So 10 of Cups in reverse, Strength in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Swords. Page of Pentacles upright and 7 of Swords in reverse. So this is your pile if you've been going through a situation regarding your home and family life, and you felt protective, or you felt like you needed to be defensive of something or someone, and it could even be just yourself, feeling defensive of yourself, but it was something involving family and feeling the need to like defend, protect, but it feels like against other family, like protecting some family against some other part of your family. It doesn't feel like it's outside of family, or who you consider your family, like your closest people. That whatever this transformation is, it required you to put these defenses down and to trust that, and to stop seeing the situation or the people involved as an enemy, and instead to trust in a higher power that has control over everything and knows what's going on, and like putting your trust in that, and then lowering those defenses. And I feel like something new could come from this, something that could only come or be born out of your vulnerability, and vulnerability mixed with faith. Not just being vulnerable, but also having faith. Because if you're just vulnerable, you can still get taken advantage of. But when you're vulnerable and you know you're protected at the same time, it's like the perfect mixture to create whatever's coming from. It's like a seed, and it was like germinating. Like, you know how you have to be like really gentle with seeds at first? It's kind of like that. Like, you had to have this gentleness, which required you to put these defenses down, and it's because you were able to trust, like, whatever was giving you this guidance, you trusted it, and you knew that you would be safe. And it didn't mean that you weren't afraid. This still, it was hard to do, to put your defenses down, but you chose to believe in the part of you that knew everything would be okay and that you would be protected, instead of the part of you that felt scared or vulnerable or unsafe. So if you resonate with that, then this is definitely your pile. The Magician. I feel like you are a very powerful protector and defender, but you are a lot more powerful in a different type of energy. Like, your energy or your power is limited in not in being like courageous, but in being like, when you're coming from a place of fear is what it is, and trying to be defensive and protective because you're afraid, then you're limited. Just like when you're afraid, when your adrenaline's going, you can't like logically think. Like if, there's an emergency happening and someone asks you to do a math problem or like a reading problem where you have to read, and like you're not going to be able to think or even focus or even understand what's going on because that part of your brain is not even activated. So you had to learn that your true power, because you're meant to harness more and access more power than you currently were, the true power is in a neutral place. So not being like all love and light and not being all fear, but being neutral and being able to alchemize any energies that come in and make them whatever. It's like you neutralize, like it's not a positive charge or a negative charge, it's a neutral charge. So you neutralize whatever comes in, and then you can make it whatever you want, customize it how you want. That's where your true power lies, and that's what this transformation you're going through is happening. Or what did I say? That's why this is happening. And I notice here both of these have this infinity sign. That could be significant to you, but also it's like you have this higher mission, this higher purpose. You have a lot of potential, and you want to fulfill it. It's in your DNA to desire fulfilling this. It's not like you feel forced or like you have to, because you don't. But you know you won't feel fulfilled unless you do. Let's see, Temperance and Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, what I'm really getting to is like, just in general in your life, trying to be in a neutral space, because I feel like you may have been back and forth, like, do I need to be, dark and protecting myself and speaking up, or do I need to be like all loving and forgiving and like it's all good, it's all is well? And it's like you were always trying to kind of go back and forth. It's like you didn't want to give your energy to things or people that didn't deserve it, but you also didn't want people to think they could mess with you or mess with your energy and just get away with it and you wouldn't do anything about it. So it's like you didn't want to be like out there scaring people away, but you also wanted to have healthy boundaries. And so you would kind of go back and forth, like, should I be more loving and accepting and forgiving? Should I, protect myself, defend, like, what should I do? So what I'm getting is you're not necessarily meant to be in either of those places. What you're meant to do, unless, at times you may feel called in that moment too, but what I'm getting is like your power is in this space of neutrality. And even in this, how, it's not an infinity, but she has this like spiral coming out of her head. It's like this connection. And the connection is so powerful to the divine because this is a world of polarity. So to be able to hold but it's also a world of everything in between. So to be able to hold that in between space, it's like you're literally holding, you act as a portal holding this other, or like a portal or an anchoring in this other dimension. From a neutral place where anything can be anything, and like you can make, it's like a true creative space. So that's what you're stepping into. That's what you've always meant to step into. And I feel like that's just going to bring you a lot of peace, knowing you don't have to be on this end or this end. You don't have to choose this or this. You can just really be right in the middle, right neutral, gray, like, and go as you please to either side, but still keeping that as your center. And it's gonna help you if you've been someone who you struggle with like a lot of like moodiness or just emotional roller coaster, or like you feel very back and forth or indecisive. Oh, here's another infinity sign. So yeah, that's definitely, or like 888. This is gonna lead to abundance, but this is like an abundance of otherworldly energy. So as I was saying, if you felt any type of mental anguish or stress, or just like you didn't feel balanced at all in your emotions, in your mind, then this is what you're gonna, like, this is gonna help you to be more balanced, having that neutral mindset, and that's what you're stepping into. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. You've won it, you've beat it, you've defeated it. So anything else that wants to come up? 9 of Pentacles in reverse. It's not happening later, it's happening now. Don't wait. Take action. This is, okay, so I think, isn't the eclipse today? I think the solar eclipse is today, or was last night or tonight or something. So definitely I'm feeling a connection to that, and I feel like the power of the eclipse is going to really help you and like power you up, like power your power, if that makes sense. So, and there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to like do a ritual or something like that. It's just gonna affect you, even if you don't even know that it's happening. But you don't need to like worry or focus on that. So that's all I'm getting for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. So for pile 3, the glasses, this is going to be your pile for what transformation are you going through and what can you know about it. So this is going to be your pile if you knew that you had to go through a major transformation in order to break your true self out. Like maybe you looked in the mirror and the person you had become you didn't recognize, and you knew that like it wasn't going to be easy. Like whatever you would have to go through, like it's like fire, like a phoenix. Like you would literally have to die, be burned, die, and then be born again. And for a long time you were just like, I am not gonna do that. Like I'll wait, maybe till the next life or the next. Like I'm not in any rush to do that. I'm fine. My life isn't that bad. It's fine. So, but as the world will do, you can't just ignore things and have them go away. I mean, you can. Like everything, it's hard because everything I say, I'm like, well, there's another side. Yes, but like what I mean is you can't ignore something that's already within you and have it go away. Like an unhealed part of you. You can't just ignore traumas away. You can ignore energies away. You can starve energies of your attention until they're not in your life anymore. But you still have to face traumas. So if you resonate with that at all, that you just knew you needed to go through a big transformation because you wanted to be your true self, but you knew like to get there from where you were, it was gonna take something significant. Okay, so you were just waiting because you weren't trying to do all that. And then life is like, okay, well, now you have to face it because your time is up. maybe you didn't know you had limited time. And so when your time was up, you're like, oh, wait, I thought, I didn't know. Okay, you, at this point, like, life kind of put you at a fork in the road, or like a crossroads where which is making me think of the Fool card, but it's like, which represents new beginnings and starting fresh, starting over, taking a leap of faith. So the Two of Pentacles is about, like, it can be about like juggling two things, which it can be good or it can be bad. Like in this case, not committing, not picking, not choosing, trying to like go back and forth, which will throw you off balance. But then here in this picture, it's like, it's the Four of Pentacles, but it's like he's choosing, like, okay, I'll keep these, but I'm giving these away. Like he's like making a choice, you know? So it's like, I keep losing what I'm trying to say. So I hope all these little pieces add up and make sense. But so like, what is the transformation? So this feels like it's happening to you and for you, of course, but it's gonna feel to you like it's happening to you. Because like in the first pile, it was like they started the transformation. But this one, it feels like it was this unconscious, subconscious, higher self version of you, if it was you that started it, but it wasn't you consciously. I mean, it could have been like as simple as you being like, I wish this, or like, I want this. And then Spirit's like, okay, say less. Like, that's all I needed to hear. Let's make it happen. And you didn't even realize, like, you were just like in a little daydream or something, and you didn't even realize you just had set that in motion. But now here it is. Okay, Page of Wands in reverse. But whatever this is, it's big. It's like, it's almost like you need to catch up. Okay, let's say when you were in high school, you made a pact with your friends that you guys were going to go to college for this amount of years, and then like at age, let's say like 28 or whatever, you would meet and you would all have your degrees by then, you would all have everything you needed, and then you guys would like be roommates. Like, let's just hear me out for a second. And so it's like let's say there's 4 of you, 3 of you, your 3 friends, they all stuck to the plan. But you, after high school, you were kind of like, I don't really want to go to school, like all that school, like that's gonna be a lot, and I just want to chill. Like, I just got out of high school, I need some time to relax, to whatever. Okay, so you do that, and you're like, I'll go next year, I'll catch up, I'll work through, or I'll study through the summer, and then I'll catch up, no big deal. But then the next year came around, and you're like, still don't want to do all that work, and like 3 years goes by, and now you have to like cram all of that school in a few years if you want to make it. And it's like, okay, now you literally have to, like, you're gonna have to non-stop study, and like study all day, take classes all day, but you can get it done, but you have to do it now. Like, you can't wait a second later. So it's like that point is where you're at. So it's like big, like whatever you do, like you have to make a decision now. Like, either you're not gonna make it and your friends are gonna go do the plan without you, or you are, but you're gonna have a lot of work ahead of you. And even if you don't, that doesn't mean you're not gonna have hard work in your life. Like, you're gonna be faced with challenges regardless, and have to learn certain lessons and heal certain things regardless. It's your choice how they come to you. Like, if it comes to you in this way, you're like, I don't want to do that. Okay, it'll come to you in a different way. But like, you have to heal it. It may be a different person, a different situation, a different job, but but it'll be the same energy is what I mean. So let's see. But this is so good though. Trust me. Like I said, it may feel like it's happening to you, but it's happening for you. Trust that, okay? Because the Eight of Swords being in reverse is very good. This is you being free from your own like mental slavery, from your own entrapment, imprisonment that you didn't even know how to get out of. It's like keeping yourself stuck in this cycle, in this prison, away from your true desires, away from what you really want. But you're not in that anymore. And even if it's just because you are kind of, in a way, feels like you're being forced out of that, it's still good, right? It's like because you don't want to be where you are. If you're honest with yourself, you don't want to be where you are. If you stayed exactly where you were right now and just stayed there the rest of your life, you would not be happy at the end of your life. And you know that. There's more things you want to do. You have bigger dreams. You have bigger goals. There's things you want to try. There's things you want to experience. There's just so much life to be lived out there, and you're not going to do that staying stuck in this cycle. And so this is a good thing that you're not able to stay in it anymore. And know that some part of you at some point, like I said, asked for this. So it's not against your free will. It's like you saving yourself. But I do feel like the work though that you do is going to really give you purpose and really make you feel fulfilled. And it's kind of like that thing where you can't enjoy it, or you won't be able to see how you'd enjoy it until you're actually doing it. And then when you're doing it, you're like, you know what? I didn't think I would like this. I actually thought I would hate this. I love this. Like, this is my new... It's kind of like someone being forced to work somewhere for like community service and like, I don't want to do that. I hate that. And then they do it and they're like, wait, I love this. And it becomes their job. So, like, don't judge things too soon before you actually experience them. Because the point of view you're coming from is different than the reality you're stepping into. It's not that you're wrong. It's just you're literally it's this transformation. You're changing into a different reality, and things are different. So you have to let go of what you thought you knew, because that doesn't apply here. And you have to just get in it to learn it. And Six of Swords. Okay, I wasn't wanting to say this because it sounds like I'm just hearing buckle down, but like that, not in like a bad way or like a scary way, but just prepare for work, but work like you've never known it before. Work that's gonna make you redefine what you consider work. It's gonna change your feelings about it, and it's gonna be a freeing feeling, because you're not gonna feel like a slave to work, or like you have to do it, or it's like this evil of life or something like that. It's gonna be a completely new, really freeing perspective of like having the ability to create and having the tools to do that. I'm gonna get one more, and just know that your confidence will return. It is going to return, because right now you might be thinking like, I don't want to do more stuff when I don't even feel good enough right now. But it's like, imagine someone being unemployed for months. Like, at first they're like, oh, this is nice, I don't have to work. But then they start to be like, okay, I don't know what to do with myself. And then they ended up just laying in bed all day, all night, being depressed because they just didn't know what to do. And then like they got this new job, and at first it was like, ooh, like they were sore when they got home, but you know what? They actually liked it, and they felt accomplished when they got home. And it wasn't because of the job. It was because of how the job made them feel. It was because how they felt about the work they were doing, the pride they felt in the work, and like the ability to create. And that's the energy that I feel you're stepping into. So don't fear it. It's literally gonna feel so good, and it's gonna feel like you want to do this, you were meant to do this, and it's gonna feel like you want to do this most of all. So I wanted to pull one, but two came out. Queen of Swords in reverse and the Empress. Don't cut yourself off. So I'm hearing don't pinch yourself off, which is what Abraham Hicks says. So if you feel drawn or interested, search up Abraham Hicks, but don't cut yourself off from abundance by doubting yourself. It's like, you know who you are, so don't give any energy to those thoughts that try to tell you otherwise. I just really get a revamp of your confidence. You're gonna feel so much just like you, like you're gonna feel like yourself. So this is nothing to fear. You got this. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.